we've been sitting here shooting the shit for like a few minutes, and then I was like, why didn't we just hit record? Because this is basically what we're going to talk about. So last week, if you haven't watched last week, we talked about a new technique that we're using for trial reels. And I'm not going to give you that whole episode, but basically, if you go back and watch, you can see how we set up trial reels to find winning hooks. And you might be thinking to yourself, why do I need to find winning hooks? And that is what we are going to dig into today. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Greta, founder of Bringing Simplicity, coming to you live with Judy, our fearless CEO. And today we are diving into how we utilize trial reels to find winning hooks.
Yeah, it's so interesting because you've been doing it for a couple months, Greta, like the trial reels thing with a couple of our social media strategists. And I just have so many questions because I started doing them for my account and mine are like so close together. I clearly have like no clear winners necessarily, but that doesn't happen every single time. So so it's one of those where it's like be consistent. I just haven't been consistent enough in posting the trial reels. So it's like keep going, even though you don't have clear winners. Because mine are only like 6 views apart. Like that's not to me. I'm like that's not a clear winner. They're 6 views apart.
Well, and in a lot of ways, as I reflect on it, so like Judy was saying, she was like, oh, mine are all really close. And I'm like, oh, that's not what happens. And I went and looked at our trial reels for some of the other people, and it'll be like 400, 600, 3.2K. And it's like, oh, well, the 3.2K is clearly a winner. But as I'm reflecting on it before we hopped on here, it's also like you're collecting what is your baseline data too. So now we kind of know what your baseline is for trial reels, but I still think we should use the ones that have slightly more views.
Yeah. So if they and remember for the like you have to let it run for 7 days. Is what Greta says. Like let it run for 7 days to see what it does. But yeah, right. For some of you, you're probably in your first month really just collecting a baseline, depending on how many you're posting every day. Because it's I don't know if somebody is posting 3 trial reels every day or whatever they're posting, but keep going because you'll eventually have clear winners, like Greta said. Because that also didn't happen with this client either. Like there were some that we looked at and there weren't very they weren't dramatically different like that either.
Right. So our goal is to find ones that are a 10x multiplier or at least a 5x multiplier, meaning it's 5 times more than what your baseline data shows. And then ultimately, when you find those, you are going to take the hooks. And this is what Judy and I were just talking about. She's like, okay, Greta, now what do I do? Do I just like move it from trial reel to regular? And I'm like, no, always leave your trial reels going. We don't turn them off. And then what we want to do is take that winning hook and repurpose it as many ways as possible. And so that can mean what we have done is taking that phrase and making it the first slide of a carousel, taking that phrase and having it be the very first thing that comes out of your mouth when you're doing a talking head reel, posting it similarly where it's a text over B-roll, right? Same as how it is for trial reel. But get creative because ultimately, when you find a winning formula, you want to repeat that winning formula. And so remember that, especially for your organic social media, nobody's seeing it. And if it's a really good scroll stopping hook and it's going to help them get information from you, awesome. Use it again. Like, they're not going to remember they read it.
They're not going to remember. Exactly. They're not going to remember. And think about this. For those of you who are business owners and who are like, oh, this is something new, this is something to add to my business. Well, one, you shouldn't be doing it. Somebody else on your team should be doing it. And remember that volume negates luck, like Hormozy says every single time. So just keep doing it. And the other thing I want to say is for those of you who are on here, you're building companies, you're building teams. How many times do you have to repeat the most simple process to your team? Something so little as like your message of what, like for our VAs, for example, the message that you're supposed to send me at the end of day. It's a very simple message, but yet they still get it wrong. And some of them have been doing it for months. So you have to, that just shows you how many times you have to say something to someone for them to remember what you said. So I guarantee you, after all of the things that people are viewing on social media right now, they're not going to notice that you put that hook in your talking head and you put it in your carousel a few days later.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing that I want to address, which I feel like, not that we have thousands of views on YouTube, but some of our most watched videos are the ones where we're a little bit more vulnerable. And one of the things that's interesting, or that we talk a lot about, is that we're fortunate to have each other. So like Judy hops on and she's like, Greta, all of mine are like within 10 of each other. Which should I post? Like, which one should I use? And like, she can process that with me. But here's the thing. We talk about all the time, messy action makes us millions. And if Judy didn't have me, so if you're sitting out there and you're like, I don't have somebody to talk about this stuff with, first of all, message us. We love getting messages. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then just pick the one with the highest. Like if it only has 6 more views, it's 6 more views. Like awesome.
Exactly.
Like you're still producing like social media content. And then the goal is, like Judy said, to consistently post those trial reels, because the hook that you never thought would take off is going to be the one that takes off. So like you just have to continually post things to figure out what will be the scroll stopper.
Exactly. And it's very easy to get discouraged. If it was so easy to get views, to make money, we would all be multi-millionaires right now. If all it took was like, oh, 10 posts, like, oh, we figured it out. Greta, we figured it out. We can retire now. And so it's really, I like what you said, Greta, with that part of just like just taking action on it, like Greta said, or finding a community. If you are somebody that needs that affirmation, needs that support, needs someone to say that to you, then join a community, message somebody who is likely, it's a lot easier to encourage other people than to encourage yourself. So, or talk to ChatGPT if you're just like, I don't like people, I don't want to talk to anybody. Just talk to ChatGPT. And I'm sure they'll be like, post it. You should just post it.
Now I'm curious what they would say.
I know we should ask.
You should take a screenshot of your trial reels and say like, I'm trying to find the winner. Would you consider this baseline data or not? Because that's the other thing is ChatGPT may be like, no, hold off until you get a 5x multiplier. And it's like, well, then you may never, and then you may never post. Yeah. And then you're in the same position you were in before. So you might as well just like be consistent, post, be authentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's better to post than to not post, as long as it's something that you truly believe and care about. So if you're on here, it's like, that is what I'm going to guess most of you are very passionate about your business and how it changes people's lives. So again, like just think about like the 100 eyeballs, that like 100 people in a room who are just like who cares that it's 100 people? Who cares that it's 10 people? Somebody needed to hear that message today, and they were able to hear it from you. And so just think about that versus being like, I didn't like go viral, which is so overrated. And everyone who has ever gone viral will tell you the same thing. They'll tell you the same thing. Okay. There are people.
I laugh a little. I'm laughing because I was on talk about finding communities. We have tons of communities. Like I'm always on meetings with like other ad managers and things like that. And we were on one, and we had a client whose post went viral. And then I don't know why we always talk about this on Unfiltered, but then she got a lot of eggplant pics. Yeah. And the person was like, oh, I hate when one of my clients' posts go viral. Like you would think that's what you want, but he's like, you end up with like tons of crappy followers, which like messes up the algorithm because they're not actually there for like the type of content. It's just because it somehow got pushed out. He's like, viral posts just ruin it all. And I was like, it's so funny because that's what everybody aims for. But then like from a true marketing standpoint, like most of the time they're not, like it's the content that you didn't think would go viral because it's like some random thing, right? Yeah, like, exactly. Oh my gosh, it just makes me laugh because it's like, it's funny that we all think we want that. And then like the reality is no.
And yeah. It's not, yeah. And we're like, no, please don't do that ever again. In fact,
Yeah.
please don't post about that ever again.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, but you don't know. And that's what people, I mean, it's the perception of what people think too,
Yeah.
right, Greta? I think a lot of people perceive that more followers, and we've said it before, more followers means more money, and virality means more money. And no, it's the message. It's the
Hmm.
message. It's the
Which
message.
is why I feel like we have to anchor it back in. That's why when we're looking to have a post get more views, we're basing it off of a solid hook that was a scroll stopping. So it's not based off the trending audio. It's not based off a dance. It's not based off of like a lot of those things that will be like your quick tips to get more views on your stuff. And it's like, that's all awesome. But like that trending audio may not speak to your audience, your
Yeah.
actual audience.
Yeah, 100%. So if you haven't yet, hopefully this encourages you to send this to maybe one of your team members who is doing your trial reels for you. Definitely send them the last week's video on Unfiltered, because we actually break down in more detail about like the hooks and things that you should, like how to actually formulate those and how many seconds and like all of the, basically the technical stuff, that the SOP on trial reels, if you want to call it. And yeah, and I think, Greta, how many times now you said wait 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
You're posting trial reels every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal.
And the reason I said 7 days, you in theory could choose a shorter amount of time, but you want to choose the same amount of time. I mean, I would say five
Every
to seven
time.
days is like the best,
Just
but you don't
choose
want to
one.
compare apples to oranges. So you don't want to be like, this one only got 200, but it's only been 2 days. So the main part is looking at the data at the same amount of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So just remember to keep that consistent and keep, however you keep that consistent in your world, and save them and go back. And then, Greta, when you have seen in the past, after using a hook and a carousel and a reel, when has it gone viral?
It has.
Okay, so then, and it doesn't do it every time. So those are who are watching.
So every time we've picked one that is more than a 5x multiplier. So that example of like where it got 3.2K trial reel views, whereas our normal ones get around 400 to 600. Those ones have always been, when I say viral too, everybody's definition of viral. So like my definition of viral as I'm using it now is like our typical reels get between 2 and 4K. And these ones, when they were posted to the feed, got like 20K. So they basically mirrored what they did in trial reels, meaning they 5x'd what we would normally do.
A normal, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So they outperformed by your general baseline of your actual reels that you do.
Yes.
And how long does it usually happen when they do that? Is that also 7 days, or is it like you see it happen within 24 hours, quicker?
So yeah, usually it's quickly. As long as IG is behaving, you'll usually see like a hockey stick is what we talk about. So it'll be like the first few hours kind of look like it's going to be straight, and then it just goes straight up. Like that's what we're like, anytime you're looking for one that's going to be a multiplier, it's going to look straight up.
Sweet, sweet, awesome. Anything else that they should know about these trial reels, Greta?
I mean, I think like I'm just going to echo the same sentiment of like, just keep posting. The more you post, the more data you have, the better decisions you can make. So Judy, you better get to posting. You only did 6.
I know I need to do more trial reels. I gotta find these other hooks that are out there. Yeah, I think another thing is,
I like how you say you have to find them. We literally have a bank of
we do
like
have
3,000.
okay, so I have to
Like,
go. I
literally,
have
she
to
just
go
needs to
grab
go.
them out of our database. That's okay. Those were the wrong words. We have a lot.
I was like, that was a very real moment of exactly what they're saying too. Like, well, you
Yeah.
have to find the hooks.
gotta
It's
go
like, no,
find
no.
No, you have them. You have
You
them.
have
They're
them.
in your feed. You're watching them too, probably every day. The other thing I want to say is, if you can, Instagram rewards you using the edits app too. So when you're going to make your trial reels, that would be another thing, is to make them all through the edits app and then post them. And then if you are someone that also posts on Instagram and Facebook, we do not post trial reels on so like when you're posting them, make sure to turn off like display on Facebook, so that way they don't display on Facebook. Because if not, like if you have yours set to where it's like always posting both places.
So this is the funny part. Like I'm never the one that's actually doing the posting. I just look at the data after. So I'm like,
yeah. So, but you'll find that out. I mean, when you post your first one, you'll find it out. You'll be like, oh, oops. Didn't mean for that to happen.
Very similar things go live on Facebook.
Yeah.
Again, nobody would probably even notice.
No, nobody probably notices, but awesome. Well, I think that's it for trial reels. Sweet. If you guys have any questions on them, let us know. DM us, message us below. We'd love to know what is going on in your trial reels. And we'd also love to know if you guys are experiencing the same thing that we're experiencing with our trial reels, because maybe you're doing better and we don't know. We would like a new trick if you guys have one.
I know. Share below. We're all figuring this out together. Next week, we will be together.
We're going to be together. We're going to be at a retreat next week.
I was going to say, and I feel like next week's episode, we will probably be digesting what we have just learned from the Elliott group. So,
yeah. Which is what?
Well, you guys will just have to tune in and see. It's like a private behind closed doors.
That's true. We got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. We'll share some tips from our next event. So we'll see you next week.
See you next week.